Hi, Bill Chatt here. It's April 1st, no joking. Going to give a quick COVID-19 update. Everyone here at CCP is trying to keep abreast of everything that's going on. Aside from our webinars, we'll try to get some of these updates out here. So far, my partner Mark Cervantes has put some out regarding real estate. I'm going to cover a little bit of everything here. We've had some updates that I think will be relevant to different segments of our client population. So, in case you haven't heard, Governor Pritzker has extended the shelter-in-place order through the end of April. He did say if he thought it got better, he'd be the first one to let us know. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to be shut down through the end of April. In addition to that, and contemporaneous with that, the Cook County court system extended its order shutting down the court buildings through May 18th. They're going to mandate the use of some type of video conferencing, I guess, for hearings. We'll see how it goes. It's not necessarily an unheard of concept in courts, but in the Cook County system, it's not been used. They don't even use some of the established methods such as court call, which DuPage and McHenry already were using. So it looks like the courts will try to get some things accomplished. I really don't know how they'll schedule all this. Stay tuned. We don't know about the other court systems in terms of extending their shutdowns, but if we go from the last time this happened, safe to say that with Cook County doing it, with the state being shut down through April 30th, that that will probably be the case for the other court systems too. So briefly, let me, for my leasing and my leasing clients, my property owners, my property managers, let's go over a couple of things that are kind of late breaking. In addition to everything I just said, know that we still can file new actions, so we can still file new forcibles, motions within the case, but we've got to temper our expectations here, knowing that we're not going to get in front of a judge. But in terms of an initial foreclosure or an eviction or something like that, that can get filed. The first dates are pretty far out there. In Cook County, the sheriff is not serving the paperwork. So when you're doing an eviction, the sheriff by statute always has to be the first one to attempt service, and then we always go to a process server. Now, because we have a volume of eviction business, we've got what's known as a standing order. So the minute the sheriff does not or is unable to serve, we do not have to go back into court. We go right to our process server. Kind of wondering if the court system will allow us to go right to the process server. Don't know if that's going to happen. They've done it in law division, but that's for different types of cases. So as far as eviction type of cases, we can file them, but not much will happen. To that end, the other counties, DuPage, Will, and all them, they do not require the sheriff. So we go right to the process server on those. But again, we're not getting in front of judges, so we have to temper our expectations there. And there's just a moratorium on evictions with sheriffs not evicting anyway. That all said, the obligation to pay rent has not been relieved or postponed by any of these orders or statutes or anything like that. So the obligation for tenants to pay rent technically is still there. Even if you are, trying to take a compassionate approach or whatever, and allowing deferrals or payment plans, you should still stay on top of it. To the extent you really don't have communication from certain tenants, you should still keep up with your notices, your 5 days, your 10 days for violations, your 30 days, 10 days. People don't get to be disturbing the neighbors. They don't get to destroy things. So all those obligations are still there. We're kind of on a hold pattern as to how we're going to be able to do anything, but that's still there. So if you are a property owner and you have any Fannie or Freddie-backed mortgages for your property, they are working on some type of deferral program whereby if you give a deferral to your tenants, your lender will give you a deferral of mortgage payments. That kind of goes in lockstep with the deferral you're doing. The expectation being you're not getting rental income. It's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to make those mortgage payments. Again, that's Freddie and Fannie backed. For the non-Freddie or Fannie, which can be a lot, it's going to be lender specific. The main thing is reach out to your lender. Do not wait. With any of these debt types of things, whether it's your credit card, your car payment, or anything, reach out because a lot of this is a lot different than 2008 through 12. Everyone knows right now what's going on, and the orders are very broad, statewide, nationwide, things like that. So it's a little bit different this time around, and the programs are getting put in place much quicker than when we had the Great Recession. So for our realtor clients, and I don't mean to steal Mark Cervantes' thunder, I'm sure he'll be talking about this one on his, I think he's going to do one on Friday. The Illinois Department of Economic Opportunity came out with some guidance today. It was April 1st. So for realtors, open houses are not permitted. So the old, you're going to have an open house, with the signs, you're going to sit there on a Saturday or Sunday and have people come and go, is not permitted. Not seen as essential, and obviously there's concerns with, if you take it with a typical open house, is that you can see why they're doing that. Showing of occupied rental properties not permitted. So if you've got a landlord who's trying to show the property while the current tenants are still in there, not permitted. Showing of vacant or owner occupied units are permitted if they are scheduled in advance. So if it's a vacant house, if it's an owner-occupied house, as long as there's advance notice, they're trying to push virtual showings. But if there's going to be people at this, there can be no more than 4 people in attendance. So it's still a lifeline, but it's greatly curtailed. I don't know that necessarily any of our realtors are really having open houses, but again, just kind of follow that guideline on that, and you can reach out to either myself or Mark for more on that that edict from the Illinois Department of Economic Opportunity. And then finally, the one last thing I was going to cover is if you're out there, whether you're a small business client of ours, whether you're a landlord or whatever, there are 2 loans that are just getting floated around there that people are just asking us a lot about. One is going to supposedly go into effect on Friday. That's the CARES loans. The CARES loans are loans that are going to be used for payroll, rent, and paying your utilities. These are, in certain circumstances, going to be forgivable. So you'll be able to get these loans, and if you meet certain criteria and administer or use the funds according to the terms of the loan, it may be forgivable. It's basically, in a nutshell, you're going to take your, to the extent you were in business for the entire of 2019, you're going to take your payroll, you are going to take any retirement IRA programs that were paid for by your company, you are going to take any payroll taxes that were from the state of Illinois, not federal, and then you're also going to put in there insurance, like health insurance or perhaps AFLAC, so group insurance that the firm paid for in behalf of employees. There's a couple other ones. This is not an exhaustive list. There's an application for this, and you're going to take that, you're going to total it up, you're going to divide it by 12, hit it with a multiplier of 2.5, and that would be the total loan amount you'd get. And it's going to be various lending institutions that'll be taking part in this. But it's supposedly going live on 4/3. It's a first come, first served basis. You'll probably need additional documentation because you're still going to be dealing with a lender, so they might want other things like your payroll logs, maybe your tax returns, things like that. I need to silence my phone. And so that is the CARES loan. The other one is the SBA disaster assistance. That one is not necessarily, it's not forgivable. While it's got a very attractive interest rate, it's higher, and it's more for operating type of expenses for businesses. And there's some mutual exclusivity between the CARES and this SBA loan. So definitely reach out to your professionals, your accountants, your lawyers, your bankers. They'll help you. But these are 2 things out there. The second one, the SBA disaster one, there's one interesting aspect to it. They've got a rate for regular businesses, which if I remember correctly was 3.75, but they also have one for not-for-profits, which Most of our associations out there are not-for-profits. The reason this matters is the underwriting criteria on these loans is going to be relaxed versus the criteria we would typically encounter in an association loan. So I do not know the details about that loan yet. I need to talk to some lenders when that one gets some more details going. That may be an avenue for our association clients. Don't know for sure, but stay tuned. We're going to get some more information out there for you. We're going to keep our webinars up, and that should do it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at my phone number at the office is 630-326-4930, and my email is bchat@ccpchicago.com, and our website is ccpchicago.com. So everyone stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll get through this, and hope to see you soon.